The Springboks have just announced their lineup for the upcoming match up against the Welsh, and it wouldn't be a Rassie Erasmus side without a few curveballs thrown in for good measure. Looking through at the side, very unpredictable, yet again a mix of the experience and the not so much, and definitely different to what a lot of people did predict. But jumping into it, number 1, it is Oxnard. Number 2, Johan Robela, and number 3, Thomas du Toit. Now, du Toit got to start the game up against the Scottish. Same can be said about Oxnard, who, even though he wasn't nominated for World Rugby Player of the Year, has been an absolute workhorse for the Springboks side. But Johan Robela comes into the starting lineup. That is rather than Bongion Benambi, who has been left out for this matchup. In the locking duo, this is the first time we are seeing Jean Klein for the November Internationals, and partnering with him, it is Franco Mostert, a man who struggled up against Scotland. That was his first game back from injury though, and everyone knows what a world-class player Franco Mostert can be, so hopefully this is the game up against a slightly diminished Welsh team that he will be able to really shine. It's a bit of experience around him for this contest too, so hopefully that helps him in the right direction. In the loose forward trio, number 6, Sia Khaleesi, the captain, will be starting. Now, they have decided to go with Sia here rather than someone like a Mako van Staden. They want to have the captain out there on the field for the last time. And at 2024, number 7, Elric Lowe, and number 8, Jasper Wiese. So a little bit unpredictable in some regards, but without Pieter-Steph du Toit being an option for this matchup, does make sense that they've chucked Elric Lowe as their number 7, although he's actually had more minutes throughout November in that 7 jersey than his regular number 8 position. So is that something that Rassie's planning for the future to be a little switch? Or is that just how it has worked out? But Wiese at number 8, the man is a battering ram up against this Welsh side. A lot of inexperience there. So you're looking at Wiese just throwing himself at the line all day, and eventually he will break through in the 9-10 combination. We have got a set of brothers for the Springboks, number 9, Jaden Hendrikse, and number 10, Jordan Hendrikse, who will more than likely have the kicking tee for this match as well. He's an outstanding player at URC level. Same can be said about the Currie Cup. Now, of course, we're talking about Jordan. Jaden, in his last game up against Scotland, he dropped the ball multiple times, which is something we're not used to seeing from that youngster. But hopefully this game, partnered with his brother, there'll be plenty of composure in the Springboks backline, which once again looks pretty similar with the exception of the 9-10 combo to what we saw last week up against the English. In the 12 and 13 jerseys, it will be Damien de Allende at number 12 and number 13, Jesse Creel. Now, I actually did expect them to go back to what they used in the Scottish game, but instead they've decided 2 games in a row to give de Allende and Jesse Creel the opportunity. In the centres in the back 3, number 11, Kurt Liarense, number 14, Cheslin Colby, and number 15, Apelele Fasi. So not going with what happened in the Scottish game with Makazole Mapimpi, Kanan Moody, and also Willie LaRue also missing out. And I feel like that actually explains quite a bit in terms of Rassie selection. Some people thought we'd see Willie LaRue off the bench up against the English, then he would bring up his Centurion cap in this game. But that's not the plan that Rassie had, as Willie LaRue, for some cricket terminology, will be stranded on 98 not out at the end of the season. But jumping into the bench, it is a 6-2 split for this game, including a debut, the 51st that Rassie has had throughout 2024. But number 16, it is Malcolm Marx, number 17, Gerhard Stennekamp, and number 18, Vincent Cox. So not breaking up that bomb squad front row that we are used to seeing all throughout November. It's been effective. So at this point, Rassie has stuck with it. Number 19, Eben Etzebeth, and number 20, Arge Snyman. Not exactly 2 poor options to have coming off the bench later on in a game. This could cut the Welsh open, having Etzebeth and Snyman both just slotting in to those locking duos. More than likely, maybe Mostert goes to number 7 and just gives him a bit more game time under his belt. But either way, having those type of players with that impact off the bench could be absolutely game-changing. Number 21, hopefully a future game-changer for the Springboks on debut. It is Cameron Hanekom. He came in initially for the injury of Damien Valimza, and now we get to see it at international level. Some people have been calling for it for quite some time, but the problem has been they've had many great number 8s, whether that is Evan Ruiz, whether that is Jasper Visa, Eldrick Lowe, who's getting his minutes at 7 at the moment. It just shows how competitive it is in that number 8 jersey, but I'm looking forward to seeing Honeycomb get some minutes here. Number 22, Cobus Reinach, and number 23, Hondre Pollard. So that's a little bit of security later on in the game. The experienced heads, Pollard, of course, offers you that kicking tee, but overall, once again, a fantastic Springboks lineup, but they are going to be taking on the Welsh this weekend. We will be doing the commentary on the channel, but of course I want to know what you guys think of the Springboks side. Are you happy with what you see? Has Erasmus made great decisions to close out this November internationals? And are Wales in a bit of trouble here? Already on a massive losing streak. Perhaps it could be even longer, taking on the world champs here. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one.